Hey guys, I got a question for you. How would you like to have a 3-day weekend every week? Think of all the things that you can do. You would have more time for hobbies or spending time with your family or maybe traveling, even resting. I know a lot of us would love to sleep a little bit longer. Many people would love that type of work-life balance. And if you decide to work for the federal government, you could have just that. There are many agencies that are willing to accommodate their employees, and they will be respectful of your time off. Say you have a weekend or you're off duty, they will not be calling you or emailing you. Now, this isn't the same on every department. There are some departments, the DoD comes to mind, or the Department of Homeland Security, or FEMA, where they might be more demanding and they might call you on the weekends because of an emergency. But the federal government isn't just comprised of these 3 departments. There are dozens of agencies that you could potentially work for. Think about Department of Agriculture, or the Department of Justice, or the Department of Housing. So how is this possible? Well, let's look in the Opm Handbook. The OPM is an independent agency of the federal government that manages the U.S. Civil Service. And there's a section in there that covers what we call condensed work schedule. Now, the idea would be all federal employees are still working 80 hours, but the manner in which they're working those 80 hours, there's a lot of flexibility in that. Here are a few options. The first option, which you're probably familiar with, is working your typical 8-hour day, 5 days a week, receiving the standard Saturday and Sunday as days off. Another option, and this is an option that I use, is a 9-hour workday. And you do that for the pay period, which is 2 weeks, and then you receive a day off. This can be really any day you would like it to be. It could be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day. A lot of people end up picking a Friday or a Monday. And we do that so that every other week we're experiencing a 3-day weekend. Now, the third option is what I spoke to previously, and this is where you receive a 3-day weekend every week. You're working 4 10-hour days. Now, I know that seems like a lot for a lot of people, but for the individuals that can handle a 10-hour day, you can really reap the benefit of having those long weekends. And there's even another option, something that's a little bit more uncommon, and that is a 3-day work week in which the employee is working 13 hours and 20 minutes a day for 3 days, and then they're experiencing a 4-day weekend every single week. Now, for any one of these configurations, you're going to have to ask your supervisor, and it's going to largely depend based on the department, agency, and even the office. So in every department, there's multiple offices, and the culture and the dynamic within these offices can vary greatly. So it's not as simple as saying the Department of Agriculture allows this, so everyone should get it. Well, that's not going to be the case. There's going to be certain offices that have more flexibility to offer this to their federal employees. Now, I have a military background, and when I was in the Army, we were on call 24/7. So the weekends were not off limits. The holidays were not off limits. There were plenty of times I received a phone call, whether it was Saturday at 3 p.m. or Sunday at 2 a.m. It didn't matter. I had to respond because the mission had to get accomplished. So when I first heard that this type of flexibility was an option and that it was offered to federal government employees, it was mind-blowing. I really couldn't believe it. And I would go further to say that a lot of employees in the workforce, whether you're in private sector or you're in public sector, a lot of employees are suffering from employee burnout, where we're just pushing ourselves too hard to continually put the organization's goals in the forefront of our minds. And as a result, we're missing birthdays, we're missing anniversaries, we're missing graduations, because the work-life balance isn't there. But it can be. And if you're a current federal employee, I would encourage you to ask your supervisor. And if it's not offered in your department, there's nothing saying that you have to stay in your department. You can apply to job announcements that are more accommodating to your need of that work-life balance. If you're not in the federal government, this is just another good reason to research federal employment and perhaps pursue it on your own. Well, what do you think about all of this? I think it's absolutely phenomenal, but you let me know your thoughts down below. Well, that wraps up this video. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.